Okay, thanks for agreeing to consider to beta test Tech new app, Hobos Beacon. It's an iOS 8 app and it's designed to help people with disabilities or the inability to speak for themselves to 911 operators to use the new facility Text to 911. And what the Hobos Beacon app adds to it is it allows the people to also send 911 their geolocation. And as with any geolocation app, um, when you first install the Hobos Beacon, you're going to, and you open the app, you're going to get a prompt that says, will you allow location services to be enabled for this app? And this app's going to ask for always permission. For beta testing, yes, do always permission. The number one thing with the beta testing is that the app will run without the use of location services, and that's what I will demonstrate for you today. But it also, in a live situation, you really would want to have your geolocation information presented, and you also would want to, when you're out beta testing this app, to use the geolocation features. So now I've run this app a couple of times, but I manually turned off geolocation services to give you a different type of an error message, just so you can see how you could turn them off. Say, for example, if you missed the prompt or you made the wrong selection. So I'm going to launch Hobos Beacon, and you get the splash screen. And then after the screen comes up, you see location services are not on. So it's going to tell you, you're going to go to settings, you look for the privacy tab, and then to location services. You want to turn those on for Hobos Beacon and check the always part. We'll show you how to do that shortly. But right now I want to run the app without location services. So let's say, okay, we got that message. Now this is the main screen of the app. And it starts out allowing you to enter a name. But for beta testing purposes, the name is going to be beta tester. And that's actually going to load in the background. So you don't have to use that text box. But just to show you, it is operational. And if you type some text in here, and then if you want to then hide the keyboard, all you have to do is click the return key in the bottom right-hand corner. And you'll see there's a little X there that will allow you to remove that text. So you click that and the keyboard comes back up. Now for your second text field, you have the option, what is your emergency? You can either use the spinner or the picker at the bottom where you see here to select an emergency, or you click the X and you could type in some text. So either one would work for you. So you can click return, and I'm going to choose an option from the picker. All right, now at this point we can actually go ahead and click the 911 button. When we do so, you see that we get a preview, and that preview alert is just basically to say, did you really mean to text to 911? Okay, and it's just to prevent people from making an accidental text. And you get the option to either go ahead or go okay, or to say cancel. And it shows you a brief message, but that's not the only time you'll actually see the preview. So when we click OK, we get the full message box, click the message view that comes up. And you can see in this that the text to 911 are going to be going to a test number, a dev test number. This number is not an active 911 center. What it is it's a phone number we're using for beta testing, and we will respond to the text messages sent there within 48 hours. So it's not going to have an urgent response either. It's just going to let you know that your beta test message did get to that test center. Now, this particular screen is also one for iPod or iPad because it's using iMessage. Now, on an iPhone, the screen will be slightly different, but will have the same features with your summary and your ability to change. As you see, the cursor is blinking. So if we want to change anything in our screen, we can. Okay? So anything that we want, any change that we want to make in our message to 911, we can make an addition. So this basically allows, you're allowed to actually either go ahead on the iPod or the iPad. This is going to come up and the send is not going to be an option. But if you're using an iPhone with telephony service, you will be able to send this text message out. So with the iPod, iPad, we're just going to hit cancel. And when we hit cancel, you notice we get a text message right away from the app that says the call to 911 was canceled. And it's just the app's way of letting you know that from the app point, nothing went forward to 911. Your message was canceled. You'll also get a success message that the app is trying to launch a message to 911 if it's successful from an iPhone. Okay, so we click that. Now that gives you a general idea of the screen, but as I said earlier, I'm going to show you how you would go back and enable location services. So for location services to be enabled, what we're going to do is click the home button on your iPhone or iPod and go to your settings. Open settings, and you're going to look for privacy. And in the privacy screen, you're going to click privacy, location, and then you see Hobos Beacon is listed as never. That's not what we want. So we're going to click on Hobos Beacon and we're going to select always. And then once we do that, we can just exit or just click the home button and we're all set. So we click the home button, we'll go back to Hobos Beacon and we can then have location services enabled and use that. Now, we're going to go in more detail in future tutorials through the beta testing process, but for now, this gives you a general idea of what we're asking. And we have a lot of questions that we'd like for you to answer, and we really want your feedback, and we really thank you up front for helping us improve this app for people who are disabled or unable to speak to 911 for themselves and still be able to connect to the services. Thank you so much.